Ever get the feeling you're watching some billionaire reality show, but it's like actually unfolding on your timeline? That's kind of what it feels like with this whole Elon Musk and Brazil thing, you know?
Yeah.
We're talking about a real clash of titans here, Musk's X, which you probably still think of as Twitter, going head-to-head with the entire country of Brazil.
And it's not just any old corporate spat. This one goes deep.
Seriously deep. We've been digging through a mountain of news reports, tech analyses, even Musk's own tweets, which, let's be real, are like adding gasoline to a bonfire.
Yeah, when Elon Musk gets involved, things tend to get a little spicy.
To say the least. But for those who haven't been glued to this saga, what's the deal? Give us the rundown.
At its core, it's about content moderation on X. The Brazilian Supreme Court basically told Musk to remove certain content, stuff they deemed harmful, especially misinformation.
And we're talking specific court orders here, not just some strongly worded letter.
Right, this wasn't a suggestion, it was the law of the land. But Musk, being Musk,
decided to poke the bear.
He basically argued that Brazil was trying to stifle free speech, a common refrain from him.
Right, he's had some pretty public battles over content moderation before, but this time it feels different, like next level stuff, taking on an entire nation. That's bold, even for him.
It definitely is. And what makes this case particularly fascinating is the weight Brazil carries in the tech world.
We're talking a country with over 200 million social media users. That's a massive market, one that any tech giant, even someone like Musk, can't just ignore.
Exactly. So while this fight might be about principles on the surface, there's a lot more at stake here.
Okay, so it's not just about free speech, it's about big money too. What exactly did Brazil do that had Musk so riled up?
Well, it all started with those court orders demanding X to take down specific content. And when they didn't comply,
things escalated quickly.
You could say that. Brazil didn't just slap on a fine or issue a sternly worded statement. They actually tried to block X in the entire country.
Whoa, seriously, they blocked the whole platform. That's wild.
And it gets even wilder. X, in a pretty defiant move, actually decided to close down their offices in Brazil.
Wow, closing offices like they're packing up their toys and going home. It makes you wonder if this is standard practice. I mean, does Brazil have a history of flexing on tech companies like this?
It's not exactly standard practice, but Brazil's Supreme Court isn't known for shying away from a fight, especially when it comes to protecting their democracy.
So there's more to this than meets the eye.
Definitely. See, Brazil has been grappling with some serious threats to its democratic processes, especially around elections, and a lot of it has been fueled by online misinformation. They've been really targeted.
So they're taking a hard line to protect themselves.
Exactly. And their legal system actually gives the Supreme Court a lot of power in these situations. They've built up a framework for tackling misinformation, and they haven't been afraid to use it, even against powerful tech companies.
So it's not just about X or Elon Musk. It's about safeguarding the very fabric of their government.
Precisely. And it's setting an interesting precedent. Other countries are watching how Brazil handles this, especially as our world becomes more and more digital.
It does make you wonder if this is a sign of things to come, if we'll see more governments stepping up and taking on these tech giants. But let's get back to Musk.
He's not exactly known for backing down from a fight or for being, subtle. How did he handle this very public legal battle?
Well, let's just say he didn't exactly take the quiet route. Instead of trying to smooth things over, like most CEOs probably would, he kind of threw gasoline on the fire.
Oh boy, what did he do? Declare war on Brazil in a tweet storm.
He did tweet out a picture, a mocked-up image of the judge presiding over the case, Alexandre de Moraes.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, it was a photoshopped image of Moraes in a mock prison cell.
I mean, wow, talk about a power move, except probably not the smartest one. Publicly taunting the judge on your case. That seems like a risky strategy, to say the least. I mean, we're talking about potential contempt of court charges. That's serious stuff, even for a billionaire.
And strategically, did it help X's case at all?
It's hard to see how it could. Think about how other tech giants, like, say, Meta or Google, handle these kinds of situations. They usually fight back, sure, but it's through lawyers and PR teams, behind closed doors, not on Twitter.
It's like Musk thrives on this kind of chaos, this image of him as the ultimate disruptor, even if it means putting his own company at risk.
And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating to unpack. But it wasn't just words. There were real financial consequences to consider, too.
Right. Brazil didn't just threaten a fine or something. They took it a step further.
They froze X's assets in the country. And this is where it gets really interesting. They didn't just target X's accounts. They went after Starlink, too.
Starlink, as in Musk's satellite internet company.
The very same. They knew that would hit Musk where it hurts. Starlink is a huge part of his portfolio, and they basically cut off a major revenue stream.
Like a power move.
Yeah.
They went after Starlink knowing how much that project means to Musk.
So he's facing legal challenges, public backlash, and now financial pressure. Did he finally back down?
So we've got Musk in a corner, legal threats, public pressure, his precious Starlink feeling the heat. What did he do?
Well, you might be surprised to hear that X did a complete 180.
No way. He caved.
Caved might be putting it strongly, but yeah, they backed down, removed the content, the whole 9 yards.
After all that bluster, color me shocked.
They even brought in a new legal representative in Brazil, someone who'd worked with them before the whole Musk takeover, actually. Almost like hitting the reset button.
A peace offering. So what's the calculus here? Why the sudden change of heart? Did that frozen Starlink money finally make him blink?
It's hard to say for sure, but the timing is pretty suggestive, right?
Yeah.
Starlink is global, ambitious. A legal battle in a market like Brazil could get messy, drag on, impact their plans elsewhere.
Yeah, as much as Musk loves a good fight, he hates losing even more. But to just, surrender after all that doesn't really track with his usual MO, does it?
Maybe. Or maybe this is just a strategic retreat. Lay low for now, get back in Brazil's good graces, unfreeze those assets.
Then what? Come back swinging once the dust settles.
Exactly. Never underestimate Elon Musk's ability to play the long game. And honestly, this whole saga is way bigger than just one CEO or one company, right?
Right.
It shines a light on this power struggle brewing between governments and these tech giants. It's happening everywhere. You see it with Europe's data privacy laws, the whole GDPR thing, even here in the U.S. with the antitrust debates.
It's like we're entering a whole new era. Big tech had its Wild West period, and now governments are finally stepping up saying, okay, enough is enough.
Right. And the stakes are huge, especially when you start talking about content moderation. How do you strike that balance between free speech and protecting people from harmful stuff, misinformation, hate speech? These aren't easy questions.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And the answers will shape how we use the internet, how we connect, maybe even how we see the world going forward. This deep dive has been wild, to be honest. From billionaire tweets to Brazilian courts and the fate of the internet hanging in the balance makes you think.
It does. And the big question we didn't answer today is, was this Musk-Brazil showdown a one-off or just the first shot fired in a much bigger battle to come?
Lots to think about. And if you want to go even deeper on this, we've got links to all the articles we mentioned in the show notes, pieces from the New York Times, CNBC, The Guardian. Go check them out. But until next time, keep asking questions, keep learning, and we'll see you in the digital trenches.